are opportunities for students of color here, but our school is still very segregated in so many different ways. I think our 9th grade classes and our 9th grade houses are pretty well integrated, and that was an intentional decision by the school. But then, the rest of our school, it starts to become tracked in terms of honors and AP classes. And from what I've seen in my experience, there is a lot of racial segregation.
Yeah, so our AP and honors courses at Oakland Tech are definitely not representative of our school demographics. So racially, there are a lot more white and Asian students in our AP and honors courses than African American and Latinx students. So like if you look at AP government, just as one example, our AP government classes, both like Paideia and non-Paideia AP Gov, are about 56% white versus 7% African American and 3% Latinx. So that does not look like our school, right? So that's a really big problem, and it's something that I think a lot of us are really concerned about. It's an issue of students not feeling comfortable in those classrooms for a wide variety of reasons.
Well, the demographic in my AP class is majority Asian people. There's like 4 of us black kids. It's real fun, real fresh. It's impacted my learning because when we go through certain topics that talk about like, I guess just the discrimination that black people have faced, I just feel like I cannot voice my opinion comfortably or just like talk to my classmates about it because they don't understand that historical oppression. They don't know what it feels like.
I'm the only black person in AP US history, which can be really uncomfortable a lot of the time. Very rarely do I feel comfortable in conversations about race. A lot of that has to do with like a pressure that I feel to like correct every problematic thing that is said, or to kind of like be the spokesperson for all black people, which is like a really big responsibility that I shouldn't even feel like I have to take on.
Different ways to support students of color in advanced courses. One of them within the class is to never ask a student of color to be the representative of their race. I think that that's dangerous because one, it puts a student of color on the spot, and it puts them in an unfair position in which they have to testify for a whole race, and then it perpetrates these stereotypes around certain racial and ethnic groups. So I think that that is one thing that teachers can make sure that they never do. Diversity is definitely important in a humanities classroom, especially since we are talking about issues that matter not only to an individual person, but to a larger community. And so when we talk about issues, we need to include as many different perspectives as possible. Otherwise, we only get a single story. And a single story can be very dangerous because then that single story erases all the other possible stories that do exist. So I think that diversity of opinion, diversity of thought, and diversity of experiences and background are essential to any humanities courses, whether it's Paideia or any other English or history course that exists.
I do notice that I have very few students of color, which it makes me very sad because I don't think race has anything to do with success, and my students tend to be successful as long as they're willing to put work into the course. And I fully encourage anyone and everyone, especially students of color, to take AP statistics.
I've seen college prep classes where there isn't a single white student, and I've seen AP science classes where there isn't a single black student. And even in one case, there was, I think, only one student of color in the whole class. So yeah, I think the school is still pretty divided, and that's a real issue, and we haven't really done enough to address that divide.
We have a wonderful asset that is our diverse community. We're racially diverse, we are socioeconomically diverse, we are diverse just in like every possible way you could imagine, because we also have people who live all over Oakland. And I think that we really want to leverage that asset and that's something that we need to work to do better, because we all talk about how we love the diversity of tech. A lot of us say that, and that's something we love here. So our classroom should reflect that.